You want to hear me talk about this Nicki Minaj thing? By the way, I actually think, I think once again, here act goes. I take blame for this whole conversation happening. Well, not blame. I'm taking credit. So really, I'm patting myself on the back. Yeah, I'm taking credit for this whole conversation happening between Nicki Minaj and Nicki Minaj flaming Jay-Z. Right? I'm gonna tell you why. That whole thing started when I was breaking down the Super Bowl, and I'm the only one who broke down Jay-Z's list of what I call hoodwink moments that he did for the culture. So I talked about obviously the NFL deal. I talked about how he co-opted everybody to support Tidal like it was for us. I talked about how he did it with the Brooklyn Nets. I talked about a bunch of these things, and for whatever reason, I saw clips floating around, and it was one of my streams that was posted to TikTok that Nicki Minaj commented under my TikTok video of my stream, and we reposted it. And I didn't think Nicki, first of all, I didn't think Nicki was going to comment. Second of all, I didn't think Nicki was going to keep standing on the point. And later on, she got criticized by Stephen A. Smith. She got criticized, obviously, recently by Steve Stoute. And now she's lashing out, and she's given much more details than we ever knew. So maybe I should start with that because that's kind of the hot topic, ain't it? Nicki Minaj is lashing out against a few people. First of all, Desiree Perez. I'm going to tell you why she's lashing out against Desiree Perez. I'll Google these people while I'm talking about them, that you guys could be in the loop. Desiree Perez is the CEO of Roc Nation. She's notoriously, associated or known for being a former informant that cooperated against a cartel. And apparently she was involved in either some drug smuggling. Basically, when she got caught, she told on the cartel. Okay. However, she's been a really good business partner for Jay-Z, clearly helping him make a lot of power moves, and eventually gave her the decision or the role of being the CEO of Roc Nation. Now, Nicki Minaj has a really deep entrenched beef with Roc Nation, not only because of their defense or their, supporting other women that she's always aligned against. She feels like Roc Nation's always doing underhanded things to try to hurt her career. Who's leading Roc Nation? Desiree Perez. So not only, and I'll explain the whole thing later, she don't like Jay-Z, but she don't like Desiree Perez neither, okay? So she goes in on Jay-Z, she goes in on Desiree Perez, and then she goes in on Steve Stoute. Now, shout out to my man Steve Stoute. If you don't know who Steve Stoute is, currently he's the head guy, founder and CEO of United Masters, okay? A few years ago, it might be over 5, definitely over 5, maybe close to 10. Steve Stoute. I'm not going to talk about his whole history in the music business, right? But I'll talk about just recently what he's popping for. Essentially, he started a company called Translation. So he started a company called Translation. Notoriously, the company Translation was invested in heavily. So Steve Stoute, Translation. Google invested a lot of money into it. I believe like $72 million if I remember. Google invest. Let me see if I can find that. Invest. So $70 million came from Google. What that did was it powered Translation, which then launched what's called United Masters to compete to be what his goal is to a label on your cell phone. So essentially, obviously, if you guys know the longer history of Steve Stoute, used to work in the music business. By the way, people like Steve Stoute, people like Lyra Cohen, they saw the collapse or almost shrinking or the downsizing of the music industry or the stagnation for a while. A lot of the smart guys went to tech or started to build tech companies that could be labels. United Masters is a tech company, but it's a label, quote unquote, in your pocket because they're just using tech to operate like a label. Lear Cohen, who was running 300 Entertainment, he goes to Google, or really YouTube, and he gives up, well, not gives up, but he stops doing label stuff with 300. Remember, he was running around with Thug. He goes to deal with the tech company of YouTube, but he's still pulling the strings on, algorithms and this and third that affect music. He's actually the head of music over there. So again, a lot of the smart guys who's been around in, executive roles, for example, Steve Stoute, for example, Lear Cohen, they kind of still affected music, but they start going to tech route. That's important, and you'll see why in a few. Anyway, let's kind of give a little bit more context, right? Recently, in the last few weeks, Nicki Minaj spoke up about Lil Wayne being snubbed from the Super Bowl halftime show headliner gig, and she essentially blamed Jay-Z, saying that Jay-Z was not only 50-something but still in woman business, and clearly she was making a I could actually read those tweets. Nicki Minaj tweets Lil Wayne. Yeah, she basically was, she essentially was saying, where's the tweets? She didn't say his name then, but she was basically saying, yo, you're in people's, like, you're 50 plus and you're in like woman business. Okay, not that. Where is it? These are, I gotta find the tweets. Here we go. Are the tweets still there? Yeah, she might have deleted it. I know somebody's gonna have it. Give me 1 second. And I know for some of y'all who probably like, we've seen the tweets already. I like to be thorough because I never know who's watching for the first time or who just missed that episode that we actually covered it on. Yeah. Okay. This was at, all of these were kind of like indirectly at, all of these were kind of indirectly at Jay-Z, right? Denying a young black man what he's rightfully put into the game for no other reason but your ego. That's aimed at Birdman. Your hatred for Birdman, and no, it's not aimed at Birdman. It's aimed at Jay-Z. Your hatred for Birdman, Drake, and Nicki got you punishing Wayne, Lil Wayne, the GOAT, Okay. Then there was another one where it says, you're like in woman business or something like that. I forgot, where is it at? And that was, I think, was kind of also like aiming at the whole Meg situation. Let me see if I can. Is it this? This is in Threads. Okay, I can't find it quickly, so I'm not gonna drag it out. Where is it? Okay. This was at Jay-Z too. One nigga took a knee, the other nigga took a bag. He gonna get you N-words in line. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, essentially she was shooting at Jay-Z a lot. She never said his name during that rant. However, after that, Stephen A. Smith spoke out and criticized Nicki Minaj for attacking Jay-Z. Stephen A. Smith, Nicki Minaj, and some of what he said almost 9 days ago was this.
It's about my own individual emotion. I'm pretty pissed off. Jay-Z is my boy.
Sorry.
Make no mistake about it. That's my dog right there. If he were wrong, I wouldn't say much. If he's right, I'd have more to say. But under no circumstances am I going to be quiet when you talking about him like that, Nicki Minaj. What the hell was that? What's that about? Respectfully, that's some bullshit. It really, really is. That's just beyond the pale. Master P's open letter, no harm, no foul. Lil Wayne's your man. You're a New Orleans native. He's a...
Now, it's important to know, and again, I know, y'all hate when I cut it off, but I like to give context. Stephen A. Smith is just talking about Nicki shitting on Jay-Z indirectly, even though it was kind of obvious she was dissing Jay-Z. What Stephen A. Smith is lacking is that Nicki Minaj and Jay-Z's history actually go way back. Like there's some history there, and Nicki has felt slighted by Jay-Z for a while. So Stephen A. Smith doesn't know that and just believes that Nicki's been being super hateful and ungrateful in a moment where hip hop is getting a platform basically due to Jay-Z.
The New Orleans native. I get that part. You think he should have been there? I happen to know he was on the list. I happen to know he was given consideration, but Kendrick Lamar is arguably the hottest thing out right now. Not Like Us, that single, man. I mean, everybody going off about that.
By the way, Lynn, thank you for being the first member of our King Akademiks channel. I appreciate you.
She was off the chain. We got to call it what it is. Now, it wasn't great for Drake, but Drake is still big time. He still got his followers. He still got people that love the hell out of him because he's phenomenal. He's fantastic. Ain't nobody here trying to throw no shade on Drake. But Kendrick Lamar right now is that dude. Right now, he's that dude. And why is that relevant? Because I want to put up this full screen for past performers.
Okay. So, and this is where, if you're Stephen A. Smith, with all due respect to Stephen A. Smith, when it comes to rap, he's out of his league. If you're talking about whether me, Joe, or anybody else who really covers it all the time. Just like if we speak about sports, we're out of our league when it comes to his expertise, right? Because he's really tapped in. Again, he's isolating her comments to think that Nicki Minaj is only saying this because of Wayne in this moment. Nicki has felt this way about Jay-Z for a while. This was the icing on top of the cake for her to express the vitriol about Jay-Z. Also, that probably was one of the only days on social media that people were like, maybe Jay-Z is a hater. That's why she came out with it. Obviously, is she upset that Wayne didn't get the gig? Clearly, but that's not where the vitriol is coming from, right? Very important to note. I just want to say that, and I'll play this last piece where he's talking about her tweet, and then I'll keep the story going.
I respect you. I respect your work. I respect what you've accomplished. Who else you gonna get in the beef with? Little Kim, Mariah Carey, Cardi B, Gucci Mane. I'm just looking at all of this stuff. Taylor Swift.
So he calls out Nicki Minaj for being almost like a, like a 6ix9ine figure. Oh, or like a 50 Cent figure back in the day. Oh, you're just starting beef with everyone. You're the problem, right?
Every time we turn around, Demi Lovato. Every time we turn around, it's something, Nicki. You disagree with the decision. You got to talk about the brother like that? And why are we talking about Jay-Z like he's some damn sellout or something? Need I remind y'all, all the hip-hop artists, all the R&B people that have been performing?
Okay, perfect. All right, so that's pretty much what he said about Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj did not take lightly to that. She responded afterwards. Nicki Minaj responds to Stephen A. Smith. She responded by saying, "Oh, look, another paid Laffy Taffy alien who only comes off his knees to turn around and back that ass up. Laughing my ass off. Steven, we don't care. I'm going to tell you right now, we don't care. If I say more, it'll be your fault. Sit down, ugly." Now, it's kind of, I'll be honest, that's an interesting point she's making, but I also got to call her, we want to be factual here. What Nicki Minaj is alluding to is that Jay-Z, here's why, there's two reasons why what's happening to Drake. And I know you're probably like, first Drake mentioned, stream derailed. No, it's not. It's two reasons why what's happening to Drake could never happen to Jay-Z. First and foremost is the obvious. Jay-Z, his cultural currency, he's kind of been a person who's dictated the culture, never been ever accused of maybe not being from the culture or just not being a product of the culture. Like, Jay-Z is hip-hop, if you get what I mean, right? His life, his plight, his story is synonymous with hip-hop. That's never been questioned, and we all know that. While with Drake, they'd be like, well, his mama is white. Well, he's from Canada. Well, really, like, yo, like, well, is he like cosplaying as an Atlanta nigga? Like, there's been question, right? We're just speaking facts here. So that's the first reason that you can never do what, kind of is happening to Drake now. And, that's an angle that Kendrick really pretty much successfully, like, kind of put across, and a lot of people have bit into it, right? The second reason why you can never have done that to Jay-Z is that Jay-Z did what most successful people end up doing, who go from the bottom to the top and stay at the top, and then usually break through this. Us as black people, we talk about this, almost this, you can't get through this proverbial, ceiling, right? Where they're like, no, they'll keep you down here, but they won't let you into the real room, right? Like, I mean, Pac has alluded to, like, this is always a talking point, right? Where it's like, yeah, you'll be the guy with the shiny chains, but you'll never really be one of them. Who's one of them? The owners who own all the shit. The people who own these record labels, the people who own these streaming services, the people who own these, these ticket and touring companies. Jay-Z has done that. But not only because of his, no matter how much I've said that, he's definitely sometimes co-opted culture, or sometimes, just like, he's a businessman. He's a phenomenal businessman. No matter if you claim he, finesse the culture to rock with him or support his ventures, his business moves usually work. But not only that, is that Jay-Z laid a trail of other people who he put in positions. And Nicki Minaj knows this, and the majority of the industry knows this. Jay-Z has left people in positions along the way that, don't you realize Jay-Z don't got to respond to nothing? If you critique Jay-Z, there's like 10 niggas that jump out the window that instantly start backing him up. And if you look at it, they're not just doing it just because of no reason. They usually have some type of financial incentive or some type of tie. They might be managed by Roc Nation. They might be an executive or have some type of venture with him outside here. He might have gave them their first job as an A&R. He might have gave them their first job as a VP of A&R or a VP of this. And in Jay's wake of becoming who he is, there's a ton of those people. Now, it's within music, but also outside of music. Because Jay is not only doing business in music. Clearly, he's doing business with the NFL. Clearly, he's doing business with Square. Clearly, he's doing business with the spirits, like when it comes to like vodka or vodka and cognac and all that. He's a very influential guy. The guy actually had Roc Nation doing sports. The guy's so close. He's done everything. So what Nicki Minaj is alluding to here is that she's feeling, and by the way, we're going to get to Dame Dash making this accusation too. She's feeling that this interception that she's watching Stephen A. Smith do is the product of maybe some association that would benefit Stephen A. Smith. And I don't know about Stephen A. Smith, all of his ventures, this and third. Don't know if he has any association with Jay, but if you listen to his diatribe while he was speaking earlier, he consistently said, Jay's my boy. Jay's my boy. And I don't know Stephen A. Smith to just have friends that have no business incentives. We should all know that. Shit, he worked with Skip Bayless for 15 years or whatever long it was, and then he said me and him were just partners. Like, he didn't say that's my friend. So when he's saying that Jay-Z is his friend, we have to imagine that there's more. So what Nicki Minaj is basically saying here is, oh, okay, this dude's only coming off his knees to turn around back to that sub, basically saying, hey, we don't care. Well, she's copying like one of his sayings, right? And then saying, if I say more, it's going to be your fault. Basically saying, your defense of him is only going to keep encouraging me to keep going, right? So Stephen A. says that, and Nicki responds initially. Then the next thing happens, right? Ryan Clark, which I'm going to talk about Ryan Clark a little bit later. Guys, you got to remind me to talk about Ryan Clark. By the way, shout out to everybody on the Academy channel. We got like $6,000 over there. How much we got on the main channel? How much we got on oh, we almost had like 10 grand on King Academics. We're going to talk about Ryan Clark in a little bit, but Ryan Clark with the pivot. I spelled it wrong, but here we go. He did an interview with
Hey man, season already crazy, dog.
Steve Stoute. Okay? And I don't think I have timestamps here, but I wish I did. I should have got them, but if you guys do know the timestamps, let me know. Now, so Steve Stoute did the Pivot podcast, okay? And he spoke on not only Jay-Z, he defended him, by the way. Spoiler alert. He spoke on Drake, spoke on the Super Bowl, and he spoke on Nicki Minaj. That's, and by the way, I had to tell y'all all that to get y'all up to. The next thing after I play this, we'll get into Nicki Minaj current date tweets. So let me find where he talks about the Super Bowl, Drake, Jay-Z, and then criticizes Nicki. Here we go.
And you loved all the excitement around it.
So you look at the big picture.
Here you go.
You're on a
Person and, the comments that were being said and that Nicki spearheaded was...
Okay. All right, so basically, so look like they start off hot. Here we go.
we're trying to get you, but now it's my turn.
Okay.
They went through Jim Crow.
I'm going to do 1.25.
Hold up. The
fuck?
Yo, translation. Scope,
Here we go.
And
300 million viewers around the world. It was confusing to me because Kendrick is an unbelievable performer. It's not like you could knock Kendrick. I mean, I guess that's what some
By the
of
way, I also want to I know some of y'all might not be familiar with some of these people. Steve Stoute is an amazing music mind. Like this guy is up off being smart, lasting as an executive for all these years. He's really smart. Okay, I do have to say that, right? Now, obviously, like any man, like even me, like you could still be smart and have biases, right? But still, he's a really smart guy. Anyway.
the hate that was spewing this week was confusing to me because you can't disrespect Kendrick because you chose Kendrick. And naturally, Wayne is hurt. It happens all the time. I've sat there with Jay-Z, the Grammys, he gets nominated for 8 awards and walks away with none. It doesn't feel good. Nobody at that level of success wants to be let down or be told, you're not chosen tonight. But the way Lil Wayne handled it, he's talked about it. He says, man, I was hurt. He admitted it. That's the natural feeling. But then people coming off the top buckle, just starting to say shit like, Jay's a bad person and he has distaste for this person and that person. And, the comments that were being said and that Nicki spearheaded I just think it was wrong and way out of line. And I was surprised that she would be that personal with him, given all the doors and opportunities that he's given us all, and specifically her.
But the Wayne angle would be like, even RC said, he's a New Orleans dude. It's Wayne, it's New Orleans, it's the city.
Okay, this is not about Wayne today, so we're going to skip past some of the Wayne rhetoric. We want to hear about Jay-Z, Nicki, Drake, okay?
This may be some bold performance from him. I mean, let's be honest, man. Don't you think for 1 second we may be slightly spoiled? Jay got into the Super Bowl, halftime performances. You think these hip-hop acts would be getting picked at all if it wasn't for him? But why are we not celebrating that? Why are we criticizing the decision when he picked?
Thank you for the timestamp, by the way. Thank you. Who's that? HU2211. Somebody gift that brother a sub. That brother's starving. Gift that brother a sub. Thank you for the timestamp. Gift that brother a sub, man.
Dr. Dre and Snoop and Eminem and 50 and Marion and did that, or put Kendrick on the big stage so that he and Kendrick to have this opportunity, or others that were picked. Why are we not celebrating that idea? That's the part that's confusing to me.
I love that you brought that up. Isn't that the Super Bowl halftime performance that created the expectation that Lil Wayne would perform in this Super Bowl? because when you mentioned Dre, it was Snoop, and then when we saw that Death Row, that for his decision.
No disrespect. I'm trying to get
who
to
are from there,
to the show.
who show is for the city it's taking place in.
Usher in Vegas, right? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, man, the fact that these artists are getting their flowers and are getting their chance to perform on this stage, these black artists, hip hop and R&B artists, if it wasn't for him, this wouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
So how could you come down and criticize this man like that? To me, it's beyond me. I just don't get that logic. And I will confirm, Drake was offered the Super Bowl twice.
Wow.
Drake did turn down the Super Bowl twice. And I'm sure if Drake would have said yes, he would have brought Lil Wayne out at some point, right? He probably would have brought out Nicki, which is probably why she's upset, because she's not on stage. But Drake turned it down twice. So there's like this, the NFL.
I know Steve Stoute, chat. You see, I'm gonna find out a little bit more. Actually, I could just ask Drake, but I hate asking Drake because every time I ask Drake a question, somebody asks me like, "Yo, Ak, you're not like flipping on Drake." I'm like, first of all, like this is no sides, but still, like, no. Anytime I say Drake tells me something, y'all think Drake voluntarily made a statement. Like the nigga will answer whatever question I have. So like, I'm now realizing, you know what? I stream every day. Bro, he doesn't talk every day. So like, maybe I should just use other people as sources. I'm gonna ask Steve Stoute. He won't tell me the truth. Because if I ask Drake, he'll tell me, and then y'all be like, yo, I seen Ebro say, it was like, why is Drake commenting about the Super Bowl? Because somebody asked him. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody spoke to, no. He turned it down twice, which is fine. He didn't want to do it. But nobody's going to say, damn, why'd you turn it down? You could have got Lil Wayne on. Mm-hmm. Right? Nobody.
Well, this is also a little bit disingenuous too, right? Like, I heard Wayne talk about possibly, and I could play that clip. Again, we've kind of exhausted the whole Wayne Super Bowl angle. Wayne clearly stated, he said, hey, if I did get the Super Bowl, I probably wouldn't even fuck a guest. Like, this is my moment. Like, I'll probably rap their version, their verses and whatever on whatever song I'm going to perform. So it's clear that Wayne wants to headline a Super Bowl, not just be brought out like, oh, hey, come out and perform a milli, then go back into purgatory, right? He wants that moment, right? And I think he does deserve it, right? Like, this is one of the greatest artists of all time. He does deserve the headlining moment. So that kind of negates a little bit of what Steve Stoute is saying, because Drake headlining and then bringing out Wayne, it is not Wayne's moment, right?
Nobody's going to connect that dot. The other thing is that no one seems to think about is, why isn't Jay-Z picking himself? Like, he's not even being selfish about it for himself.
By the way, somebody told me Albial in the building. Yo, shout out to Albial if you're in the building, brother.
He didn't want to do it. But nobody's going to say, damn, why'd you turn it down? You could have got Lil Wayne on. Mm-hmm. Right? Nobody's going to connect that dot. The other thing is that no one seems to think about is, why isn't Jay-Z picking himself? Like, he's not even being selfish about it for himself.
Now I'll answer that. I mean, the culture supported him being in that position to get the move. Like, this idea that Jay-Z is almost like the rich king that's just saying, here, you peasants, let me give to you. No, Jay-Z used cultural support to get to the room to get this deal. If Jay-Z was seen as, I don't know, name a black entertainer, people don't like that. For example, if Jay-Z was me, like, obviously I'm not as great as Jay-Z, but like, if Jay-Z was 50 Cent, he wouldn't get to that room. Jay-Z wasn't as polarizing as 50 Cent. 50 wouldn't get to that room because when 50 says something, the entire culture doesn't go with it, especially at that time. Jay-Z had the support of the culture, so to act like Jay-Z's just, oh my God, he's just so great, he's giving back. Nigga, no. It's like, when they say you're voting for a black candidate? Yeah, we're voting for the black candidate to do shit for black people. Like, yeah, we gave you the cultural currency for you to get in there to pick the rappers. You're like, what the fuck? Like, this is not you're not gifting us some shit. You don't get there without everybody's saying, oh, no, we rock with Jay.
Why isn't somebody saying, man, you know what? He's actually making a decision based off of what he thinks the best performance is at the right time, music, etc. Because he's not even using this moment to satisfy himself. He has catalog. He can rock.
Yeah.
He's nice. He's not even choosing himself. To me, that should be celebrated. That he's not being selfish and he's helping these artists and giving them what they deserve and not being selfish about it and choosing only, Rock Nation acts or himself. Because if it was just that, I could understand.
Well, Rihanna, and by the way, this isn't a good point, but I'm making it anyway. Rihanna did perform, like, she popped up, like, you know what I mean? Anyway, but still, yeah, I don't think he's really prioritizing Rock Nation artists. And I mean, honestly, let's think about who's on Rock Nation. The only people who would be able to perform that would deserve that stage would have to be Rihanna. Is J. Cole still on Rock Nation? I guess, right? Yeah. J. Cole couldn't headline. Like, with all due respect to J. Cole, you're not a headliner of the Super Bowl, right? But, like, yeah, I can see you popping out, right? So Rihanna, Jay-Z, and Beyonce, right? Which are all Rock Nation, right? And then we have J. Cole. Who else? Who else is on Rock Nation? Anybody else, like, bro, if I see Meg Thee Stallion popping out, Meg Thee Stallion's supposed to be twerking at Kamala Harris rallies. She's not supposed to be performing at the fucking Super Bowl. Get the fuck on out of here, right? I can't imagine who else on Rock Nation could even be in a discussion. Now, here's the thing, like, you could be biased to your people, but you can't just like put something that don't make sense. Somebody said Kanye. Kanye's not on Rock Nation. Lil Uzi Vert. I'm gonna be honest with you, we love Uzi, but Uzi at the Super Bowl is not a thing, bro. Okay, I love y'all, and I'm not saying maybe at some point it won't be, but if you announce that Uzi's headline the Super Bowl, brother, come on. Keep in mind, you have to realize the Super Bowl is the singular biggest American sporting event where it's gonna have the most eyeballs. The average consumer that advertisers are trying to appeal to, they're in their 40s. Lil Uzi Vert appeals to 16-year-olds. I'm not saying all 16-year-olds because, shit, I'm in my 30s and I fuck with his music. But his music doesn't go to 40-year-old white men. You get what I'm saying? So they're not picking him, right? They got to pick an artist that's big enough that 40-year-old white men would know their fucking music. That's just really what it is. And then when you think about Beyonce, yeah, they'll know Single Ladies. They'll know Patio Weave and all that bullshit. You pick Drake, they'll know I Need a One Dance. They'll know Hotline Bling or some shit like that. Beyonce, I said Beyonce already. They'll know Ariana, Work. Like, they'll know a couple songs. You get what I'm saying? Like, but you pick Lil Uzi Vert. What do you think Lil Uzi Vert is going to be like? Like, bruh, come on, bruh. Like, stop it, bruh. That's good on Kai Cenat's stream, not the Super Bowl. With all due respect, I love Kai. Come on, clearly.
But for it to come down like this is just, to me, shit is corny. And it makes the hip hop community, the black community.
With all due respect, EXO Tour Life isn't known by one damn 40-year-old white man. And again, we got to think about NFL demographics. We're not thinking about Uzi could headline every Rolling Loud. He should. He's that nigga. Super Bowl, do not try to appeal to Rolling Loud crowd. They're appealing to the white man who's in their 40s with two kids, one 12 and one like 6, and they just spent, like, think about the Super Bowl. Tickets are like $15,000. And we're not talking about like box tickets, like, nigga, just a regular seats in the 200s. You know what I'm saying? Kanye could perform, clearly, but Kanye's not Rock Nation. You know what I'm saying? But, like, with all due respect, like, come on, Uzi, like, come on.
It leaves a stain.
I think sometimes we have to consider, thinking outside the box. At the end of the day, like, when I first heard it, I was.
Okay, now let me just fast forward to the Nicki thing that we can get to her tweets, okay?
I was you root this is about this is a real Chiefs because you get stay for life.
Does anyone has the timestamps for Nicki?
The master recording. And I talked about that a
Does anyone have the Nicki title part? I'm trying to play that.
lot when I started. Right, one of the biggest artists ever. And his first album, his former partner owns 1/3 of it.
Oh, by the way, okay, I gotta play this part. So this is where he talks about Dame Dash. Here we go. By the way, Dame Dash responded, so we're gonna get into Dame Dash as well. But anybody got Nicki timestamp? Please let me know.
Loudly, and I was.
By the way, I agree with y'all. With all due respect to Kendrick Lamar, Drake, anybody else, the only living artist that would do the best performance at the Super Bowl is Kanye goddamn West. Was it Kanye Amari West, whatever the fuck his middle name is? Like, come on. Like, bro, come on. Bro, like, first of all, with all due respect, I think Kendrick's going to kill it. But Kanye would make Kendrick like a baby. Like, Kanye and Kendrick artistically aren't on the same level, in my opinion. Like, Kanye, to me, is the greatest hip-hop artist of all time. Kendrick is not. Okay? So, Kanye, like, to me, come on. And just hit for hit, Kanye devours Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, let's be clear. Like, you know, again, I haven't been to, you know, I've been to a few Kendrick shows, not everyone. But, bro, Kanye was doing hovering stage. He was trying to do a lot. I don't know if we could say Kendrick's performance is better than Kanye. Like, bro, Kanye's like a whole different level. The thing is, Kanye's gonna get at the Super Bowl and say some crazy shit. That's why they're not gonna fuck with him, right? You know what I mean? Anyway. Okay. If anybody has a timestamp for Nicki Minaj, please, Nicki Minaj title, let me know, all right? Let me play this part. Now he's talking about Jay-Z and Dame Dash. We're going to play Dame Dash's thoughts afterwards, too.
Was talking about it, you know, at the top of my lungs, screaming it. Avoid record companies, be independent, own your shit, it has value. To me, the loudest example of that, that's in plain daylight, is this. Now you got Jay-Z, right, one of the biggest artists ever. And his first album, his former partner owns 1/3 of it.
That's Dame.
And there's value to it. He's trying to sell it. He's trying to do NFTs with it a couple years ago. So for all artists looking at this, you see how that master is the equivalent of real estate or any other asset that's everlasting. So it's an education that if you own something and master recording, it has the same kind of value.
So he's piggybacking off the Jay-Z and Dame Dash story. I think this is probably a promo for United Masters. United Masters, their whole thing is, we don't want to own your masters. We want to be distribution, and we'll offer other services that we'll do for a set price or maybe a slight percentage, right? That's their thing. But, you know, when you sign to a major label, historically, like, for example, like, I will bet my life savings Drake does not own Take Care Masters. Nobody signs a record deal where you own the masters, unless you have severe leverage, you have crazy leverage now. You get what I'm saying? But Drake signed in 2008 or whatever. Fuck them. Okay. Now, what's probably happened is that he's probably worked, with every renegotiation. He's like, yo, will I only own 10%? I want 30%, or I want the 20%. Like, you kind of work it off. That's how Universal keeps you from going independent. Like, well, we got the early parts of your catalog. If you sign another deal, we'll give you 20% more. That's how they kind of do it, right? Anyway, so he's talking about it's kind of like a United Masters promo. Hold on.
That you would have if you bought a house that appreciated.
Okay.
Right? Ownership of this. You have friends that you grew up with, man, and
okay, so he's talking about
on the
Dame
Dame
Dash
side.
Okay, here we go.
You have friends that you grew up with, man, and as you pivoted and as you grew, they couldn't jump the fence anymore. They couldn't jump the next fence. They couldn't go. Right. And it don't look good. It ends bad. This ends really bad. The man's, it's embarrassing, actually. It goes from a point where, like, whatever, ha, 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 rap beef, you didn't make it, you're not that guy, to, like, your teeth is falling out.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, your teeth are falling out. You're lying through your teeth and your teeth are falling out. You're trying to create and muster animosity with anybody to create some momentum around some bullshit. You're trying to sell a master and sell a chain with it like people are children. Like, yeah,
Yeah, he's shitting on Dame right now.
I want to get the chain for $10 million. Like, are you serious, dog? And then you're running around giving people financial advice like you're the OG. You're not the OG.
Yeah, I mean, it's about.
You can't be giving people bad advice and run around being the OG.
Well,
Don't do this. I'm broke because all I do is invest in myself. And no, you're broke because you made bad investments in yourself. Come on.
but he put a bunch of stuff out there, bro, and then even we all
Damn.
watch it. We all hip hop dudes.
Yeah.
What the stuff that Dame says about you that you just have to clear up? Because he said he slapped you over $18,000. He said,
No.
I can get a list of stuff that I done heard about it.
No. Not only, Dame, over $18,000, Dame and I had an altercation, right?
Whoa.
We had two altercations. We were in an office at Sony, not at Sony, at his record, we were in the same building. There was like 10 guys in the room, I was by myself, and we got into an altercation. No doubt. Yelling, fighting, whatever. About 2 years later, I seen him. We were on the same street, and it was him by himself. He had two girls with him. I went to step to him. This man pushed the girl in front of me
What?
and took off running.
Oh, okay. Now I get why Dame Dash responded. Okay. Yeah, he violated. What has Dame ever said about him? I forgot. Dame Dash, Steve Stoute. I don't remember that. Wow. Dame Dash, well, let me see. Yeah, that's recent. What is Dame said recent? What has Dame said about him? Anyway, let's keep going.
The girl he pushed in front of me falls
An hour and 4 minutes?
and then
Okay,
sues
gotcha.
me.
Thank you.
The insurance company pays out her just to not even have lawyers. They just write, just approve it, Steve. They don't even tell me. They just settle, whatever it is they settle is, $30,000 or some bullshit for nothing. He pushed the girl faking to fall on the floor, my ankle, all the bullshit. About 5 hours after that, we're at Kanye's party, and the girl walks up to me and tells me, "You don't remember me?" I'm like, "No." A girl walks up to me and tells me, "You don't remember me?" I'm like, "No." She says, "I was the girl who sued you. The money that you gave us, we used to settle out in LA, to move out to LA. Thank you."
Wow.
That's his woman now. So we've always had a,
Oh, uh, who's this girl? Oh no. Oh yeah, yeah. There's gonna be some beef. Yeah, there's gonna be some beef right here. Oh. Yeah, niggas start talking about your woman. Yeah, it's on. I don't want no parts of this. This is old nigga beef. I want these niggas gonna start hitting each other with a cane. Like I want no parts. Okay, I want no parts. Okay.
thing with each other. What do you want me to say, man? He's in bad shape. He's been in bad shape for a long time. He's
Hold
not
on.
tough. I'm not saying I'm tough. I certainly was not running and doing fucking jumping jacks in the street to get the cops to stop. He's in bad shape. Now, to move out to LA, thank you. You gave us, who sued you. I'm like, no. She says, oh.
Wait.
And the girl walks up to me and tells me, you don't remember me? They don't even tell me. They just settle, whatever it is they say, just settles. And then sues me.
Wait.
Yeah. I seen him. We were on the same street. And it was him by himself. He had two girls with him. I went to step to him.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. Old nigga beef, especially when these niggas, yo, bro, these niggas get up and gotta hit the icy hot on the fucking joints. You feel me? Yo, I'm glad. Yo, you know what I've been the most glad about recently, chat. Remember, not 2024, either 2023 or 2022. Remember, I was beefing like crazy, like Big Ack had to really, yo, these days, bruv, the only niggas dissing me, they clout chasing. Like, I really got no real ops at this point. Like, I'm just chilling back. Like, niggas know don't play with me. Like, which, by the way, I'm gonna always tell y'all, sometimes you really gotta set an example. That's what I was saying about Jay Critch. You gotta set an example that niggas stop playing with you. Cause these days, bro, everybody getting in beef but me. Like, yeah, you gotta have the little trash niggas dissing me, but like, bro, like I'm like too up to respond to them. I love watching everybody else beef. I'm watching Elliot beef with a bunch of niggas. Vlad is beefing. Yo, no, Adam beefing with like his former employees. Yo, I'm just like chilling now. I'm like, I'm cooling. I don't got no more ops. Perfect.
This man pushed the girl in front of me and took off running. The girl he pushed in front of me falls and then sues me. The insurance company pays out her just to not even have lawyers. They just approve it, Steve. They don't even tell me. They just settle, whatever it is they settle is, $30,000 or some bullshit for nothing. He pushed the girl faking to fall on the floor, my ankle, all the bullshit. About 5 hours after that, we're at Kanye's party, and the girl walks up to me and tells me, "You don't remember me?" I'm like, "No." A girl walks up to me and tells me, "You don't remember me?" I'm like, "No." She says, "I was the girl who sued you.
Damn.
The money that you gave us, we used to settle out in LA, to move out to LA. Thank you."
Wow.
That's his woman now.
Oh my God.
So
Yo, Dame, you can't let, yo, and Steve, my nigga, I fuck with Steve. I never really talk to Dame like that, but I do fuck with Dame. Yo, Dame, you can't let Steve violate your current girl like this, bro. You like 40, 50 something. This is your queen. You just had a baby with her. You got Steve Stoute talking crazy about your queen, gang? Chat, this is my new role. Just instigate other niggas' beefs.
we've always had a thing with each other. What do we want me to say, man? He's in bad shape. He's been in bad shape for a long time. He's not tough. I'm not saying I'm tough. I certainly was not running and doing fucking jumping jacks in the street to get the cops to stop and then had some girl sue me. I didn't do no bullshit like that, you know? But that's him, man. That's him.
You mentioned United Masters.
Yeah.
I saw something where a kid from Kid and Play said he introduced you to the music world. He said that you were a shark. You was made for this business. You were a shark. He was a dolphin. For me.
Okay, all right, cool. We got through the Dame part. Y'all said that Nicki is it's hour and 4.
You put out.
Let's go to that.
Walk into
And others. But that's what it felt like in the beginning when I was 19, 20, when I was coming up. I learned the corporate side, but I paid attention. I've always listened to. It's everywhere because everyone cares about the advertising business.
don't be one of them Snickers.
Get y'all.
Appreciate it.
Because if you got a podcast, who's your advertiser?
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, that was a horrible throw.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it rain. And see, in hip hop,
There you go, brother.
it's the same culture. We make it rain. Make it rain.
But when I went to the advertising business, it wasn't popular. Like, you left the record business to go into advertising business. Everybody wants to be in the advertising business now. Everybody. It's
profitable now.
Nigga, if you got motherfucking podcasts, you an influencer, whatever you want to do, you want to be in the advertising business.
True.
You want money from advertisers.
True.
Got it. You want to monetize attention? Go to the advertising business. Guess what I do? Run the fucking advertising business. I started that 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You ain't know it would be where it is now.
Yeah, he did.
You ain't know.
Yeah, he did.
You didn't know social media would be here 20 years.
No, I didn't know social media was going to be as big. But what I did know, man, what I did know is that people were going to be able to monetize their influence. I actually said something like 6 years ago that everybody is going to be mini media channels. Like, you're not as big as What does ESPN do? They create a channel, they put NFL and this stuff on it, and then they sell advertising against it.
Yep.
You're just a smaller version of that.
Yep.
That's all. And now everybody's gonna be mini media channels. That you see what you're doing, you see what Cam and Mason's doing, what Wallow and Gilly are doing, this, that, and the third. You guys are all media channels.
Yeah, true.
Right? You're gonna start disrupting. Okay. By, we don't want to spend money to put a finite amount of attention.
All right, supposedly it's at 114. Hold on. Sorry, Chad.
Song's at 1.8 billion streams. He just put it out in February. And this is because we built the platform. That's global. That's what's next for me, man. And just in general, we've covered a lot of topics. The Super Bowl thing, I want to get back to that for a second, man.
Okay, here we go.
I'm not here to defend anybody. I really don't like when people who open up doors as black people get shitted on publicly like that. I just don't like it. I think in that case, what Nicki did was wrong. To bring up Tidal, his streaming company, that he gave you equity in, that you didn't sign the fucking paperwork, and that's the reason why you left millions of dollars on the table. That man didn't do nothing to you. To be talking about somebody who's putting, whether it be Kendrick or Wayne or Drake or Usher, he's putting them on the biggest stage. That's what we should be applauding. That's growth. But the crabs in the barrel thing, oh, not him, fuck him, da 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 da. We can't do that. That's black on black crime. I don't like that. And maybe that's what it is. I think Nicki's great. I'm great artist. Very successful career. Don't do that. Just let's not do that in private. This social media thing where you start shooting at people like that, and not like a jab. I'm talking about fuck him and this and that's a little too much. I just think that's a little too much.
I will say this, and I'm in no means famous at all. I have gotten to be around Jay-Z a few times recently, and he's been nothing but kind and gracious and humble. I don't know his business inner workings.
Yeah.
I don't know how and what his relationships are with other people. But as far as the way that he's treated me, somebody who I know for sure can do nothing for him in any way, I think to me that's the measure of how I see him. I see him as a dude who's accomplished these great things. And I think the same way athletes expect that Michael Jordan is gonna look when you meet him, that he's gonna walk around with this certain glow. To me, when I saw Jay-Z, that's how he was. At the white party, it was, no, you're bougie, you were back there too. At the white party, nobody needs a rope at the white party. Everybody there but me and Alicia were famous. And Steve had a rope. Steve had a rope circling around you. Steve and Jay had a rope, right? And so I'm walking past, I speak to Steve, obviously I dap him off. And so I walk around, and I swear, Jay-Z got up and he wasn't walking. He got over close to me and he never put his feet on the ground and his legs didn't move.
This is what we call dick riding. It's what we call dick riding. Okay? I just want to point this out. So you saw Jay-Z and he was moving, but he was not walking. And that's the story you're going with. Okay. I just want to verify this is penis saddling. This is the rodeo a cock saddling extravaganza. So you seen Jay-Z walk around, but his foot never moved. Okay. I just want to point that out.
Legitimately, because it was the first time I'd ever seen him in person. He just floated over.
Like the golden child.
Yeah, he just floated over, and he didn't even say nothing to me. He just hit me one.
The nigga who's built like a camel. Big ass lips. One of them Amistad noses. Hoofs. He wasn't walking. He was floating. Okay, you got it.
One of these, and I left. I was like, oh wait, my night is over. But honestly, after getting to talk to him though and having a
I
conversation,
ain't gonna lie, and still shout out to my man Ryan Clark. But Ryan Clark, you were smitten, my nigga. This is the type of impression that most people had of Diddy. Real talk. Like, this is the type of... There's mad niggas who had that, like, oh my God, I seen Diddy. He was just in a mink. He wasn't even walking. He was floating. He wasn't floating. He was skating on baby oil, nigga. Okay? Then he piped you out in the bathroom with Stevie J, allegedly. And then had Cassie watch you. Come on, stop playing. What you mean these niggas ain't walking? These are humans. These are humans. This is how you get... What do you mean Jay-Z don't walk? Oh, I seen Puffy. He was on a slip and slide. He just slid on his belly. Yes, nigga. It was all baby oil, you fucking idiot. I just want to point out, anybody who said they saw Prince and Prince was floating, I thought they were gay. That's facts. Oh, you saw Prince, he was floating? Oh, no, you was just smitten. Okay. That's where we get from, basically he said that Nicki Minaj is a little bit ungrateful because Jay had opportunities and with the Tyler situation, which Nicki commented on before, saying that she got nothing out of. Apparently there was millions of dollars that she could have gotten. Anyway, let's go to Nicki Minaj's Twitter. One thing I do like about Nicki, and again, please y'all barbs, because sometimes y'all start to dick ride me thinking I'm like a barb too. I'm not a barb. We're gonna beef eventually, so please don't even start dick riding me, because I'm gonna tell y'all Nicki trash in 2 days. So please don't, okay? We're always at odds, and I don't do the friend of my the enemy of my enemy is my friend shit. Fuck you niggas, okay? So fuck y'all barbs. So please just know that, all right? Because I see sometimes y'all be jacking me like, oh look, Ak is right. No, fuck you niggas. I don't need no allies when I'm beefing. Anyway, okay. So this is what Nicki officially said, and I will give Nicki a little bit of credit. She don't delete tweets like me. If it's said, fuck it. Let it be in the fucking history books. Nicki Minaj said, I received a call advising. So she's responding to what Steve Stoute said by saying, I received a call advising that Tidal was sold and they made no money on the deal. So all they could offer me was $1 million. But wait, there's more. The lawyer advised me that Deseret, now this is where Desiree Perez comes back in. Deseret is basically her calling Desiree Perez a rat. So she's saying Deseret, who's the CEO of Roc Nation, advised him being Jay-Z. The lawyer said that the CEO advised Jay-Z that I had to sign the agreement in 24 hours if I wanted the $1 million or the offer was off the table. He says, listen to the end of Fractions for what my response was. Let's go to Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj, Fractions. Let's go to the lyrics to see what she was talking about. I didn't even look at this yet. Okay, she says, wait. She says, listen to the end of it. Oh, right here. Okay, good. Sex game still cold. It's on Igloo. Head game still slicker like I miss Gorilla Glue. He trying to eat it up. I say, come and get it, boo. While I count a mill, jigga what? Jigga who? Okay, so I guess that's a line that's kind of supposedly saying to Jay, like, bro, What the fuck is $1 million, right? Okay. Is there any other line? Okay, cool. It appears that that's the line. All right. Kind of goes towards, not only proving, not that we kind of doubted that Nicki don't really write her rhymes, but yeah. Yeah, Nicki basically said I addressed this on a song, right? She then said, so Barbs, thank you for supporting something I was a part of. She's talking about Tidal. I love you, but I was scammed, and I was offered $1 million to be silenced. I declined. The grace of God is sufficient. I didn't need their hush money. Gag City, Los Angeles, tonight and tomorrow, my documentary. Okay. She then continued because someone posted a Shade Room post back when, the Tidal deal was made, and it says all 16 co-owners of Tidal reportedly received $8.9 million payout following Jay-Z's recent deal. Beyonce, Kanye, Rihanna, Nicki, and more included. Nicki was also in the thumbnail, right? She said, LOL word, one of the blogs they reportedly have lots of control of, and I guess she's alluding that supposedly Rock Nation controls the Shade Room, which, by the way, shout to Angie. Fuck with Angie. I don't think that's true, but that's what she's alleging. She says, why is my photo there? Oh, reportedly. Huh. LOL, y'all, I'm really laughing at how people who aren't really smart always believe they're outsmarting smart people. No, it's just that we know karma spins. It really spins. Nicki then continues to say, every day a new man pushing 60 years of age, getting fingered in the bussy. If you don't know what the bussy, I don't even need to explain it. Bussy, okay? Fingered in the bussy, then made to come on this internet and lie on me. God is in control. Bookmark this. I advise y'all never to mention my name again. Tonight and tomorrow, Gag City, LA. She then quote tweets another account that says, y'all see how these people lie? Less than a week ago, Cameron and Mace told us that Jay-Z was lying about them not signing paperwork. Then yesterday, Jay-Z sent his mouthpiece, Steve Stoute, to claim Nicki Minaj did not sign the paperwork. Come on, man. Okay? By the way, the first photo here says, interesting, Nicki Minaj says she was not paid a penny from Tidal, unlike the other artists who made millions from it. Come to find out, it's because she never signed the paperwork after Jay-Z gave her equity. Then people...
It's crazy. Me and you were supposed to be at Fanatics. The week before Fanatics happens, Cam and Mace didn't sign the contract. We banned from Fanatics, but who's at Fanatics?
I'm gonna start saying names.
Yo, it's wild, man. It's wild.
The hate is crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy. Me and you were...
Okay, so Cam and Mason said that they were supposed to be at Fanatics. So Fanatics is owned by Michael Rubin, the white Diddy, allegedly. And apparently Cam and Mason were supposed to be there, but guess who's the new white Diddy's partner, allegedly? Jay-Z. Jay-Z may still have issues with Cam and Mace, and apparently, they were not there. But supposedly the reason that was given to everyone was that they didn't sign the contract. They're saying, what? That's not the truth. So Nicki's kind of saying, don't that sound like my situation? I ain't get the $1 million because I ain't signed a contract. Cool. Then Nicki says, they got to keep the conversation on me so no one asks about their charges against their BFF. Obviously, she's talking about Puff Daddy. Jay-Z, last time... Rock Nation brunch, and let's be clear, like we don't got to be hiding shit. The last Rock Nation brunch, Diddy was full frontal at that motherfucker. Him and Jay-Z were hanging like best buds, okay? Now, I don't know if they're friends, but that's just supposedly what it was, okay? We could probably Rock Nation brunch, right here, bingo. Exactly. Jay-Z, Diddy, okay? So she's talking about that. She's saying, yo, they want to talk about me instead of talking about the charges against her BFF, which is Diddy. I mean, it seems the 30-year-old T here is far from stale. I guess she's talking about Diddy allegations, which supposedly spans 30 years. Patterns. Yet, SAS, Stephen A. Smith, Ugly Alien, which I believe, who's Ugly Alien? She mentioned who that was before. Who did she say was Ugly Alien? Nicki be like giving code names for people. Who did she call Ugly Alien? Anyway, I don't got time to like try to keep up with her code words. She says Stephen A. Smith, Ugly Alien, Stoute, which is Steve Stoute, Dick Breath. Who's Dick Breath? What the fuck? Dick Breath, etc. All talking about Onika. Why they all talking about Onika? Then she says, the first time you catch me in a lie, delete my music. Okay. Then somebody says they all wanted brunch and baby oil. Now, a lot of people pointing out like, yo, Nicki, you can't mention Diddy when your husband is actually on the sex offender registry. And that's a fact. Kenneth Petty is on the sexual, registry. The Megan's Law requires him to be. She says you're worried about the tea of a 15-year-old child, which, by the way, that's kind of, I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of odd that her husband now, who's probably approaching 50 with her, she says, y'all worried about the tea of a 15-year-old child. Obviously, supposedly, her husband was like young at that time. I don't know what the fuck, bro. I don't know, bro. Worried about the tea of a 15-year-old child was railroaded, but no comments on the tea and baby oil that's been going on for decades. So she said, y'all worried about my husband, but y'all don't care about Diddy. As recent as months ago, if 15-year-old needs to be held accountable and told they could never move past their past, then what about a 30-year-old who groomed, my bad, I gotta make sure I can see it, who groomed and sat by and was silent, etc. Oh, right, let's keep the blogs focused on Onika. Short and stout dick. Don't want to talk about him friend them. Laughing my ass off. Basically saying, stop, don't want to talk about Diddy. Okay? All right. Then she says, undercover men are always aggravated with women because they have decided that they can't live in their truth. Therefore, women who have done nothing wrong to them are made to pay for simply existing. Fix it, Jesus. Enough is enough. Now, I do want to stop that and say, Nicki, this is where I got to call you out on your bullshit. Nicki Minaj, you will not be able to use the female I'm a victim privilege while being one of the biggest artists in the world and also being a bully when you want to. That's bullshit. I'm going to be honest with you. Okay? The mere fact is that the Barbs are probably the most toxic fan base out of any rap fan bases that are being able to be weaponized. When you then try to say, people are picking on you, it makes it seem like you're not trying to weaponize your fan base to pick on other people. Also, here's the thing, too. We're in 2024. Nicki, I had like box seats to her like ticket, her concert like in Madison Square. I gave it to my homies, like, girl, if you've ever been to a Nicki Minaj concert, half of the people there are gay. The LGBTQIA plus community really fucks with Nicki Minaj. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way, as well. But Nicki Minaj always seems to try to attack men who criticize her and call them undercover like she's trying to shame them. First of all, if you're an ally of that community, if you're truly an ally, you wouldn't even try to out people who haven't outed themselves. So here's the thing. Nicki Minaj is a little bit of a fraud. When you call someone undercover, which, by the way, Steve Stoute or any other man, we know the gay niggas. If you say Diddy gay, okay, cool. Steve Stoute not gay, bro. You get what I'm saying? You trying to call men undercover is you trying to attack their masculinity, that they have to be focused on defending that rather than talking about or criticizing you on the merit of your music. Now, here's the thing. I don't agree with anybody, even myself. Again, if I'm making a music critique of Nicki, I don't care about Kenneth Petty and what he went through. Now, obviously, if it's some personal shit and she's attacking me personally, of course I'll mention that. But other than that, yeah, I don't think Nicki is being attacked unfairly if people are criticizing her on a industry-wide music level, right? So when she starts talking about undercover men, it's like you're using the thing that women use when they're trying to, you know, shame men into not speaking about them, even if the men are speaking about them for legitimate reasons, which might be career critique. So I think that's a fraudulent thing by Nicki. Anyway, she then continues by saying, "Dear short and stout dick, Laffy Taffy alien, Dick Breath, Stephen A. Smith, we want to know if you were present during the abuse of teenagers and children. That's what we want to know. You can't taste my pussy. Stop. Aaliyah, Foxy," clearly that's being aimed at Jay-Z, etc., "during the R. Kelly video shoots and stuff." Jay-Z supposedly still worked with R. Kelly or like went on a tour or whatever it was after he knew about allegations with R. Kelly and Aaliyah. I guess that's what she's kind of bringing up. "Did you know about the abuse to Kim Porter and Cassie?" Obviously, that's with Diddy. So basically saying to Jay-Z, why did you keep fucking with R. Kelly? And hey, did you know about the everything going on with Cassie and Kim Porter? But also asking that to, of course, Steve Stoute. "Y'all seem to always run in a sort of rat pack. So that's what the people, want you and your peeps to speak on. Ugly, bald head bowling bitch. You niggas don't have this energy for gangsters in person." I draw a parallel with that too, Nicki. Or not parallel. I take offense to that. Nicki, if you're saying that your husband was railroaded as a teen because he didn't have, proper representation and the system, intimidated him to plead guilty to a sexual offense that eventually got him to be required to register, I get what you're saying, but please stop talking gangster. Like, stop saying that he's gangster. And by the way, you've used that threat against me. Yo, my husband want to meet up with you. What are you talking about? Your husband was accused of allegedly holding a knife to a child and forcing them to have sex. So please stop talking about any violence with your husband. I don't care. He could be the biggest blood from wherever the fuck he's from. The mere fact is that he's accused of using violence to take advantage of somebody's minor. So when you say you niggas don't have this energy for gangsters in person, we know who you're talking about. Because you've been parading behind this guy's super tough blood gang type of shit. And also, here's the thing, Nicki. If your husband does anything to anybody in this game, the nigga's already registered as a pedophile. He'll be in a RICO just like Diddy. Come on. Like, all this like, yo, you got to see my husband. Imagine when the U.S. attorney looks at a case, you have a registered sex offender who allegedly is now threatening to use gang ties to hurt somebody. You're going to jail more than Diddy. So, Nicki, you can't use this whole, you got to pick a side. Is your husband some big ass gang member, or is he some innocent kid that was railroaded? Because we might have a little bit pity because maybe he didn't have proper representation, but when you try to use both, we don't get it. Is your husband a super tough gang member that niggas got to see? Or was he an innocent kid that got railroaded by the system that didn't afford him proper representation and he felt scared and just did the easiest thing to get out of it? You got to pick a side, Nicki Minaj, okay? Because when you say you don't have this energy for gangsters in person, who's the gangster? It can't be a husband, because I would say maybe that gangster thought that he could gangster force people to give the pussy up. Stop it, Nicki. You got to pick a side, okay? Then it says, only for bitches on the internet. Nicki, cut it out, bro. Cut it out. Like, and by the way, this goes for like, I was agreeing with her point at first. I'm like, yes, get at Jay. Yeah, you're sticking up to Jay. But then she started talking about this, my husband's a gangster shit. I'm like, oh, my husband got railroaded as a child, but he's a gangster. He'll kill y'all too. What? Pick a fucking side, Nicki. All right. Let's go back. Then it says, if any of those 4 cunts I named would like to shoot the fair one with the gangster. Oh, never mind. You know, I actually posted this thinking that Nicki was offering the fade to like females. She's offering for Steve Stoute, Jay-Z, and a few other people to shoot the fade with her super thugged out, gangsta, super blood husband that is on the sexual offender registry. Yo, Nicki, you got to stop. Nicki, please just stop, baby. Just stop. Yo, Nicki, let me tell you this. I don't want to ever, like, I think you're an amazing artist, right? I disagree with you a lot about sometimes. I do think, I don't know if you're off that, whatever. I don't know. But sometimes I feel like you're just cynical. It could be stuff or whatever. But sometimes I'll be like, you know what? I could see it. Like some of your points about Rock Nation, I could see it. I want to newsflash to Nicki Minaj. Your sexual offender husband that's some super tough gangster blood is not a part of your story, and I would not like to discuss him. Don't invite nobody for fades with him. I don't want to meet up with him. Jay-Z don't want to meet up with him. Nobody wants. Your husband, keep making kids with him. Again, you could still have the demeanor that he was innocent, cool. But that's your private life. Stop inviting other people, because that's why people keep mentioning his history. And all your points look stupid when your husband is who he is. Just talk about, like, you're a really established, high-profile artist. You don't need to use your husband that's on a sexual registry. Like, put it like this. Yo, you know anybody you're saying, oh, if all four of them want to catch a fade with a gangster, any of them could just tweet out the biggest ether. Okay, we would like to catch a fade with your gangster husband, but we want to catch a fade in front of the elementary school. Could he come here? What's the answer? No! So stop saying that dumb shit, Nicki. You're making good points. Stop using this little weird gangster pedophile energy to think like you're not intimidating nobody. Okay? Like, the last time you put your little gangster husband in some shit, he couldn't leave the house for like 3 months with the Offset shit. They literally told him you can't leave the house. They put him on house arrest. So please just stop. Just please stop it. Stop it. Just for the love of God, stop it. But you were making a good point about Jay, but you just torpedoed the point. So like, I was actually ready to like champion her point that I'm like, oh my God, she's trying to position her boyfriend who's convicted of a crime. And like, again, I just don't want to talk about the dude. Like, he's not a rapper. He's not a rapper, so I don't want to talk about him. I think that's her business. If she wants to be with the guy, that's her business. She has a defense for like, oh, he was railroaded, cool. He's not a public figure. Stop saying public figures like Jay-Z has to catch a fade with your husband on the registry list. Stupid. Barb's gonna show up to my front porch. No, they won't. I don't think none of these things will show up to my front porch. Anyway. Damn, Nicki, I was just fucking with your point, man. Like, you fucked it up. Let me be clear. I'm gonna just stop reading Nicki's tweets. Nicki, and for you delusional Barbs, send this message to her. You have a great point against Jay-Z. That's an amazing point. Stop using your sexual offender registry husband to try to further the point. You're one of the greatest artists, period. You're the greatest female rapper. You don't need to prove your point by saying you have a gangster husband that will kill a nigga. You don't need to do that. Yes, Jay-Z been hating on you from what I've seen. Jay-Z got ops. You're one of his ops. Drake one of his ops. Wayne ain't really one of his ops. And by the way, I think Wayne's situation with him really, like, they have long history from, he was obviously trying to sign Wayne. He knew Wayne's situation with Birdman. He helped Wayne with tax. It's different. But please, Nicki, just stop mentioning your guy, bro. Please, please, please. Anyway. I actually didn't read that before, so I was about to like co-sign her point. Then I just realized what she did. She said that a billionaire Jay-Z should catch a fade with her husband that's worth nothing, that's on the sexual registry list, who claims he's a big blood. What the fuck? Nicki, are you stupid? It's like some dumbass shit. If Nicki never mentioned her husband, I'm all the way with her tonight. You could never mention your husband and win. Anyway, Nicki did pass Jay-Z on supposedly some list. It said Nicki has now surpassed Jay-Z on the 6th longest charting rapper of all time on Billboard. Her music has charted for 1,945 cumulative weeks across the the Hot 100 and the Billboard 200. She says, "Move." Congrats to Nicki. Like, you're an amazing artist. Cool. All right, I can see that. Yeah, Nicki gotta stop using that dude, bro. Fuck. All right. What's my takeaway? And I'll wrap it up with this. I agree with Nicki that Jay-Z and Roc Nation has played really odd games with her because she's been the most successful female rappers. They have invested in female rap multiple times, and they realize that they need to be juxtaposed or really just on the opposite side of Nicki Minaj to potentially help their artists grow and potentially get some worth out of their investments in female rap. I understand that completely. You know what I mean? That does make sense. Nicki just can't threaten violence through her sexual offender husband. It's stupid. All right, Nicki. I thought you were giving me an alley-oop for me to like actually, it's rare that me and Nicki get to be on the same point at the same time, but she fucked it up. She just threw her fucking sex offender husband into the fucking mix, and then now, like, it just looks stupid. You get what I'm saying? And again, I'm not sitting here trying to even get at the dude because, like, yeah, maybe he was railroaded in this and third, but bro, the nigga isn't a musician. He's only known for being an ignorant gangbanger. I'm just sorry to tell you. Like, nobody give a fuck if he's a super duper blood. Like, nobody cares but you. Okay? Like, Red Ruby the Sleaze matters to nobody. Okay? Especially not a billionaire. Like Jay-Z. All right, let me just try to move on past this point. Fuck. All right. So, Nicki Minaj started off good but crashed out. So, we're just going to move past that. Fuck. I actually like that point, too. Let's go to Dame Dash. Dame Dash was trying to have a little point. And by the way, chat, this is how organic shit is. I really thought, I was like, oh my God, this is like one of the only opportunities I'm going to be on the side of Nicki. And I completely was about to be on the side of Nicki until I really read it now. I'm like, wait, she's threatening to use her sex offender husband to beat people up for a fade? I thought Nicki was offering fade to the women. I'm like, oh shit, Nicki's about that life. Here we go. Anyway, Dame Dash spoke upon Steve Stoute. Dame Dash spoke upon Steve Stoute, doing an interview and speaking negatively about him. He said this.
Why everybody wants to send certain people. There's certain people that always are defending certain people and talking about me. And I know that they're sent to do it. And Steve Stoute's one of those, will do anything anybody tells him for $1, hate his culture. And I just want to know who sent you, but you're making it obvious. And why you won't leave me the fuck alone. You know what I mean? Yeah, Steve Stoute saying that I ran from him. That's the funniest shit in the world. In front of my girl. The lies on TV is like, I'm going to say something. Why would you do that? Again, I'm doing so bad. Drop a network, Steve Stoute. Let's do that competition. Let's do the drop a cut.
I'm going to be honest with you. I love Dame Dash and I love when he's talking his shit. But Dame Dash, every time he's being sunned recently, Dame, I love you, bro. Obviously, you can say whatever you want, but dude, the Dame Dash I know who is, I won't call it arrogant, but confident and, just the epitome of businessmen, you've been getting sunned by other dudes who clearly are better businessmen. Like, for example, 50 Cent shitted on you, and your only response to him was, yo, let's both drop a movie. Let's both drop a movie at the same time. 50 doesn't need you to market his shit. Like, 50 is lit. So 50 was just like, okay, weirdo. No. And, okay, fine. You and 50 are just not the same level. But, Dame, you were an exec. Steve Stoute isn't like some superstar like 50 or had a music career. He was an exec as well. Y'all supposed to really be getting into it. And rather than having a response for him, you're like, let's both drop a movie? Feels like you want some type of competition and get some promo. Unfortunately, I just got to call a spade a spade.
Drop a network competition. Let's do that.
Or drop a network, whatever.
Yeah, they gotta put some respect on my name. What's wrong with you? I don't know why everybody wants to send certain.
Okay. Now, I do agree with him that probably Jay-Z sending some people. Anyway, he also spoke about a supposedly a Diddy party that featured Aaliyah, and there's Diddy, Aaliyah, Dame Dash. There's an infamous picture. I don't know if you guys ever seen this picture before, but this picture showcases we got Diddy. I don't know who this. No, not Diddy. Oh, Paul. Sorry. We have Dame Dash. I don't know who this is. Is this Andre Harrell? It looks like it could be young Andre Harrell. Clearly Aaliyah, Diddy, and look like J-Lo. People were saying this looks like a Diddy party. This might have been a freak off. Again, obviously the reason why people think that it looks like a bed in the background. You see Diddy and his significant other, but you see other people, supposedly Dame Dash, and also Aaliyah was dealing with each other. Is that Andre Harrell or no? Am I tripping? Yeah, it is, right? Cool. And yeah. So, he spoke on that because people like, yo, Dame Dash, I thought you said you wasn't into the fuckery. Looked like you was at a Diddy party that maybe a freak off happened. And he said this.
That shit happened in the Hamptons. That's the day I met that me and Aaliyah, we hung out there and then we left. And that's what happened. That was 20 years ago. That was not in LA or Miami. But I know they're going to play games with them pictures. It's all good. I don't really care.
Yeah, exactly. All right. You see Jay-Z a lot. And by the way, as the focus seems to people are trying to like figure out what Jay-Z was up to back then, because everyone keeps saying, oh, Jay-Z's the next target. They're seeing pictures that have Jay-Z and Puff. Then, you hear about Aaliyah, and then you hear about Foxy Brown, and then people start to wonder about the ages of these people when Jay-Z was clearly over 18 or, or even 21. What age were the women he was dealing with, which that's a whole different thing. And then you get the Beyonce thing, that's a whole different thing too.
My thoughts on Diddy is it's sad, period. It's just sad. And crazy. And it's shocking. That shit don't want me outside at all. So, yeah, I'm sure. But I know I've been over here. And I never judge a man for any preference and all that, and they keep it to themselves. I ain't got nothing to do with none of that. So, none of that, and, I don't know anything about any of those things. From 2005 on, I wasn't around. And that was the reason why I wasn't around. So what's good is I don't know anything. I just know I wasn't there. And whatever happened it's a mystery to me, like it was a mystery to everybody else. But, I know that my instincts told me to get the fuck out of certain environments. I'm not going to say necessarily that one, but, things that were along those lines. You know what I mean? That shit happened in the Hamptons.
obviously this is a byproduct of people wondering, yo, what about these associates? What about these pictures? People looking back at old pictures that
hardcore, so they scan me like a barcode, heartbreaking, I go viral, they don't know me, so the same niggas smoking out the OZ, ice cold type lick, and I might smoke, hydro, contemplate